playoff coverage continues in a moment.
Am I on camera at all?
I guess we gotta say that we can't get in there yet.
Yeah.
10 seconds. Stand by.
The third time in 4 years, the Edmonton Oilers are Stanley Cup champions, and for the second time in 3 years, that victory is at the expense of the Philadelphia Flyers. That's the champagne celebration inside the Oilers dressing room, and Hockey Night in Canada's Chris Cuthbert will be in the dressing room in a little while to get player interviews and some of the reaction to this Stanley Cup. I suppose when you've done it as often as the Oilers have done it in the last couple of seasons, you get a little better at how to conduct a celebration, and Glenn Sather has suggested it would be best in his team's interest to take 5 minutes and cool down. As a result, reporters, and there are some 400 here tonight, he's asked that they stay out of the dressing room for 5 minutes and leave the Oilers alone with their thoughts. They can share the celebration and the sweetness of victory, and then allow for the onslaught. Meantime, reaction continues across the country. Let's go first to Corner Brook, Newfoundland, and Daryl Maloney.
Okay.
For the Philadelphia Flyers early in this game, it was said that perhaps that would be a bad move. Edmonton kept getting leads earlier on in the series, and 3 times the Flyers erased 2-0 deficits. In fact, one time it was 3-0, but the big guns of Don Cherry responded. Curry, Anderson, and Messier had the goals for the Edmonton Oilers. The final score, 3-1. Edmonton wins its 3rd Stanley Cup, the championship of 1987. Live on CBC, this is Hockey Night in Canada and the Stanley Cup Final. 3-year-old Ron Hextall of the Philadelphia Flyers appeared in 66 games in the regular season and all of the playoff games. Moments ago, National Hockey League President John Ziegler presented the Conn Smythe Trophy to the Philadelphia Flyer netminder who had been so brilliant throughout this season. Now let's go to the Oilers dressing room and Chris Cuthbert.
Thank you, Ron. The emotions, of course, have been pent up in this room for over a week, and they are spilling over tonight. First of all, Marty McSorley. Marty, a first-time winner of the Cup. How sweet is it?
You can't explain it. This is what you've always laced on a pair of skates for. You played with a tennis ball, you played with the puck, the pond, the rink, anything. It's just, we come together as a team. There's great individuals helping everybody out, and it's just the biggest extra, the highest thing you can ever do. It's, you'll never take it away from us.
Charlie Huddy, of course, has won the Stanley Cup a couple of times before this, but Charlie, when you've been through what you've been through, this has to be as sweet as they come.
Well, it sure is, Chris. We had to work hard for it. I went to 7 games. Nobody in our team's ever been this far in the finals, and I don't know, for me, I think it feels even better than winning the first one because we had to work so hard at it, and we came through with 20 guys out there, and that's what we needed.
Did you have any feeling in the last week that you'd let it slip away?
Never, never. There's too much confidence in here, too much experience. It was my first time. I was curious as to what was going on at certain times, and they'd come back. And the guys were such a calming factor with the experience. They could go out and they'd tell us, we're going to regroup, we're going to get it back, and they believed in themselves.
Charlie, how did you maintain the confidence? I was surprised at how confident this team was. You guys have won 3 times, still haven't learned you're supposed to drink this stuff, but you guys maintained the confidence all along.
Well, we just kept working hard. You know, it was tough for us. We got up a lead, and we didn't realize, you know, we got a little excited. We tried to get things going too fast, and we just couldn't put it together. And tonight it came right down to the end, and we just had to have 20 guys out there just to bear down. And I think maybe a little bit of experience from us, you know, some of the guys being there a few times, and I think that maybe helped out.
Got Kevin McClellan along, too. Thank you, Charlie Huddy. Kevin McClellan, what a series for everybody. Give us your thoughts.
Well, it's nice after last year, after losing the cup there, and everyone counting us out. And they kind of said more or less in tonight's game that if we had lost it, we would have been bums. But you know, we came through and we won the game, and that's the main thing.
It was quite a series. You have to hand it to the Flyers. They were certainly worthy of being here and almost worthy to be champions.
Yeah, they never quit. You know, they were down 3-1. They won the next 2 games, and you know, they got a gutsy team, and you know, they're going to probably be back next year.
Tell me, did you ever think that this thing was slipping away?
No, I don't. You know, it's a 7-game series. We played all 80 games this year to get that home ice advantage, and we had to use it tonight, and we did.
Kevin McClellan, congratulations. Now let's go back to Ron McLean.
Kevin McClellan had to play this last 2 weeks. In fact, the series started 2 weeks ago tonight with a terrible bout of the flu, but he was a key. McSorley with 4 goals, and they didn't expect a whole lot of scoring punch, but the Edmonton Oilers, I think, showed maybe what they were made of this evening in a game where a lot of people thought maybe it was visions of a year ago when they had a tough time against Calgary.
No, the better team won. Hextall kept him in the game. They should even have been in the 7th game. He won the most valuable player. I've been in the dressing room just next hall here, Mike Keenan, and you think that you're in there, you're saying, well, look, guys, we did a good job and all that. No, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. You feel rotten. There's nothing you can say to the players. There's nothing you can say to the players to make them feel good at all. And the guy that kept them in, just came in, and he's absolutely the best goaltender in the National Hockey League. And I'm going to say maybe the best I've ever seen. I've never seen a display in 7 games like this guy, and if there was ever an MVP, this guy should have got it.
Now let's go upstairs and get some final thoughts from Bob Cole and Harry Neal.
And you know, Ron, we've been talking about the Stanley Cup champions, no question about it. Can we have a moment to talk about the Philadelphia Flyers? They remind me, Harry Neal, of the 1983 Edmonton Oilers when they got their first taste of a Stanley Cup final and lost to New York Islanders. They've got a great goaltender, a young team, and if they're healthy and back again, look out.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail right on the head. They were the 2nd best team this year in the playoffs, but they've learned a lot, especially those young players. I mean, you take a look at their roster. They've have a lot of guys playing for them, never been at a Stanley Cup final game in person. It'll be a lot tougher next year.
What about that crazy rumor, very quickly, that Mike Keenan may be finished after this year? That is unbelievable to me.
The Philadelphia Flyers are as well coached as any team in the National League. And if Mike Keenan's job's in jeopardy, every coach in hockey had better not go to sleep tonight because the news may be under the door tomorrow morning. He is excellent. I'm talking to the Flyers. Keep him. He's a beauty.
He's a beauty, all right. So are the Flyers. So are the Edmonton Oilers, Stanley Cup champions again. Great series. Ron?
And there's the Conn Smythe Trophy winner for the 1987 Stanley Cup. Is that of consolation?
No, not really. I'd give it up any day for the Stanley Cup, but you know, we battled hard, and unfortunately for us, we didn't win.
What's your analysis? How do you explain it now?
Well, I thought both teams played a great series, you know, all the way through. I think every game probably could have gone either way. Tonight, I mean, if we would have had a break or two, possibly we would have won, but we just didn't get them tonight.
Ron, did you feel, as so many observed, that you were a team of destiny? There was a point in the Montreal series in Game 1 where there was a mysterious goal scored, and from there on in, a combination of your net minding and what seemed like incredibly timely goals, you got all the way to a 7th and deciding game. Did it surprise you at all?
Yeah, I really did think we were destined. We went through a lot this year with a lot of injuries, and you know, we still had a 100-point season, and through the playoffs, you know, I thought we were going to be healthy, and we weren't. We had a lot of injuries. Timmy Kerr's still out, Ilka Sinisalo, I mean, Davey Poole, and we had so many guys out. It was tough, and you know, we battled right till the end, and we did give it our best.
How about your thoughts on the Edmonton Oilers now that it's over?
Well, they got a great team. I think everybody knows that they got a lot of offense, and defensively, I think they're playing a lot better than they used to. I think a couple years ago, if they played as loose as they did, I think we would have beat them, but their defense has improved 100%.
Your first league game, October the 9th, was against Edmonton, a game Philadelphia won 2-1. Was that maybe the start of what was a great season? Did you gain from that game more than perhaps any other?
Well, I knew I was capable of playing in the league, but it was just a matter of getting a chance, and the management and coaches were very fair with me and gave me a good shot, and you know, that's all I could ask for, and the guys played great in front of me right from the first game of the season.
Now, how will you deal with this? What's your general mood following a game? Do you take it home and think about this for the remainder of the summer?
It's really going to be hard. If we would have won, it would have been great. It's going to be hard. We did give it our best. We have nothing to be ashamed of, but we are going to keep our heads high.
And you can double that in terms of your own performance. Congratulations on the Conn Smythe Trophy and a fine season.
Thank you.
96 appearances for Ron Hextall, winner of the 1987 Conn Smythe. The Edmonton Oilers are the 1987 Stanley Cup champs. The celebration in their dressing room continues, and so does Hockey Night in Canada in a moment. ongoing throughout the streets of Edmonton, around Northlands Coliseum, but most important, it's ongoing in the Edmonton dressing room. Let's go back there now with Chris Cuthbert.
And round the Oilers are saying it's never been sweeter, and Kent Nielsen would certainly agree with that because it's his first, and congratulations.
First and last, maybe.
Well,
it was nice, it's nice. After 10 years of hockey and this happened to you, you can't feel any better.
Well, you certainly have begged the question. A lot of talk about you going to Sweden next year.
I don't know yet. I'm going to make the decision next couple weeks.
Let's enjoy this night. And as the Oilers walked into the room, there was great jubilation, but Kent Nielsen had some tears in his eyes.
I felt a little emotional. That's the best feeling in my hockey career, and I couldn't hold it back.
You've heard some criticism about your playoff play, but you went out tonight and set up the first goal, and really the Oilers never looked back.
They critiqued me a lot and over the years, and if you take the good parts, you got to take the bad, so that's no big problem with me.
Kent, most of this team has agreed that their fortunes really turned around since you came, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Kent Nielsen and Kevin Lowe is standing by, and we'll call him in right now. Kevin, of course, enjoying his third Stanley Cup. I wonder how this one rates with the other two.
Well, prior to the series, Chris, you know, we always talk about the first one being the most exciting, but as the series wore on and the fact that the Flyers were never giving up, this one sort of grew as a top on the list. And prior to the series, or prior to the game tonight, we said, listen, this one's going to be the sweetest, and it certainly is.
I was going to say, the motivation going into the playoffs was to make up for last year in Calgary, but the Flyers kind of made it a different way, or a different way of looking at the series.
Well, they, I mean, what more can you say about the hockey club? I mean, they're a true grit bunch, and they hung in there, and like even tonight, Hextall did the job. We kept pounding, getting opportunities, but what we said prior to the game was to be patient, not to get over anxious, not let the momentum of the crowd disrupt our game like it did in Game 5 here. And you know, we got to pat ourselves on the back. It was tough not to get overly excited and to get a little bit frustrated out there, but we knew that if we kept getting opportunities that we'd score a few goals.
You guys showed some grit tonight, no question about that. Kevin Lowe, congratulations, and here comes the beer. We'd like to call over Craig Muni if we could. Craig, come on over, because last year he was a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he said what a difference a year makes.